Folks, you're watching Dark Room Reviews. I'm Joel, and I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about a movie that just dropped last week. It is called Fear Street Prom Queen. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have seen the thumbnails on YouTube, checked out people's reviews. Well, I'm just going to give you my two thoughts. Consider subscribing to the channel. We're so close to 600 subscribers. I'm not going to lie. I was amused, obsessed for a little while on the previous Fear Street movies, those three particular films that dropped back in 2020. I thought that was a clever marketing idea, you know, drop them every week or so. I liked the direction that they went in. And this one I've heard some chatter about, Prom Queen, based on the R.L. Stine novel that came out. I didn't read the book, but I got a chance to see this one. It's streaming exclusively on Netflix right now. And basic premise, set in the 1980s, you have a group of girls who are competing against one another. You know, the ultimate goal is to be prom queen for the night and, you know, bask in that glory. I'd say the biggest positive about this movie is the 80s. Got the 80s right. Got the 80s vibes going on. You have a lot of camera work that harkens back to, you know, the good old VHS days. You have the 1980s music thrown in there. Here's where it loses steam. Is the characters. We spend a lot of time with them in school. We know who the school bully is, who stands out the most. It's so cliche. You know, ultimately, you know who's going to survive. But by the end, there are some twists I didn't see coming. We'll get to the killer in just a moment. But yeah, these are practically babies on screen. These are newcomer actors. I've Googled, searched some of these actors, and they're, you know, 19 to 22-year-olds, and they're up and coming. But they do the best that they can here with the material. The direction this movie goes in is quite surprising. What's interesting is that 1994 Fear Street, that took place in Sunnyvale, and this one's taking place in Sunnyside, which is pretty much across town. They're however, they're connected because we have, you know, a commentator played by our main character tells the audience, us watching at home, this stuff occurred across town. But our side of town, it's much more, you know, a popularity contest. We recognize that there was a killer, there spread a rumor very quickly, and now people look down upon this young girl in school, and thus she's in a bind, and it makes for a clever, you know, plot line going forward. But it's again, it's high school, you know, kids can be mean, and it only takes this movie so far. And keep in mind, the prom and the killings and the killer reveal, it all takes place in one night. And so we don't go days and days with this movie. I like that it's one particular setting. We're with these group of kids in the gymnasium, in the locker room, the hallway, these dark corners. You know, you have young kids sneaking away, wanting to make out. You have a rebel who's, you know, outside of the school. They get picked off one by one. The standout moments here is, you know, the killer being introduced, and all red, and it has an axe and a bone to pick with these students. Those moments are highlights, but they're 30-second highlights, and we're back to the group of students in the gymnasium. That gets old pretty fast, and us audience, you know, only can take so much. They want to see what the killer is up to next, who's gonna die, and we've seen it all before. Fans of horror movies, slashers, it's been done. I give this movie props because it was birthed from Mr. R.L. Stine and his ideas. This property known as Fear Street, and we wouldn't have this movie if it wasn't for, you know, his great mind. So kudos to Mr. R.L. Stine. As for the whole slasher genre, it needs a bit of a change in pace. This film, carries all the cliches in the world. I do like how it wasn't afraid to go there. It was not afraid to chop off limbs on screen and have as much blood as possible. Have, these teenagers run for their lives and pull out all the stops. But the problem is we've seen this all before. The 1980s have been done before. It's not an issue with Netflix per se of this movie. It's the fact that, it's too little too late. But yeah, I out of respect, the property, Fear Street, cool. But in the end, it's forgettable. You'll forget about this movie the next day. But guys, so that's my review of Fear Street Prom Queen. Have you guys checked it out? I'm sure many of you have. Let me know in the comments below. Have you seen the previous Fear Street films? Plenty more content to come, guys. Take care. Folks, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It really helps out in the long run. Dark Room Reviews, it's the place you should be subscribed to. Join the channel. It's free.